Yo, hey guys, SmallmouthCrush. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my review of the Caymas, the CX21. I got it this past spring, and now it's definitely fall time. It's about 40 degrees out, but it is warming up to 65 today. But we're going to talk all about the Caymas and give you a little bit of a review of my experience running this boat this past season. It's all coming up. Okay, I'm excited today. We're going to launch the boat here in a little bit. We're waiting for the sun to pop up. I'm actually going to get the rods and everything ready here in a little bit. I drove through the night, and here we are. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good day. And we're going to do a little fishing, a little freestyling, see if we can catch a few smallmouth, and talk about this whole setup and how I utilize and how I have it rigged, and some changes that I may be making for my next Caymas for next season. So let me get ready here, and we'll go hit the water shortly. All right, I had to throw on a few warmer clothes, but we're still getting things rigged up, getting things ready. Got the rods out anyways and getting the gear packed up. But this boat's been great. Awesome big water boat. And it is definitely set up right. So it's going to come with a 24 Fury 3-blade, which is going to work great for most of you guys that run just normal bodies of water without big, huge waves. When I get into the bigger waves, I decided to go with a 4-blade. So this is a Bravo 1. It's a 24 pitch 4-blade, and it works really well in those big waves, big water. I guess we can talk about the motor setup here before we get out. DD26, this is the motor cover that you can actually use while you're running. It's been working out great for me. It just helps protect the cowling a little bit, whether it be you have an angler that doesn't know how to cast and banging lures off of it, or if you get around brush and wood and trees and overhanging branches, it's not scratching the cowling. So I'm really pleased with it. The only deal is and I could take a pressure washer, but you're still going to get your water stains on this. You just have to use a pressure washer and get it really good. Of course, I also have the leash on this boat. The leash is going to allow you to... Oh, school's in session. The leash is going to allow you to run your motor, and if you hit something and those bolts on the jack plate come off or break, that motor is not going to flip back into your boat. So I've ran a leash now on all three of my boats over the last 3 years, and I think it's a really good thing to have just for some added security. Certainly talk about the Lowrance here at the council. I went with 1/16" this year, and I like it. I like the 2D. I like the mapping's decent. Side imaging is good, but it's not as good as the Humminbird. And I do like the Lake Master map a little bit better than these sea maps. And I also like the Garmin Lakeview maps that I've ran in the past. So with that being said, next year I'm going back to a Humminbird and a Garmin unit. Garmin also has great 2D, which is still important to me. And I'm going to get a little bit better side image out of the Humminbird. And since I'm not really running active target, it just kind of makes this obsolete. I do like the waypoint system with this, but I'm going to live with it. It's not going to be a big deal. That'll be for next year's boat. But this is a good unit. I like one unit. I wish one brand could do it all. I really do, but they just don't. Okay, while I'm idling around, let's talk about this the cockpit here. Solid. Steering wheel's great. I mean, what else can I say? Gauges are awesome. Fuel gauge is a digital and it's terrible, right? So I use the Mercury Vessel View, so that's going to give me an accurate amount of fuel used during the day. That's what I base it off of. I wouldn't base it off of this this digital fuel gauge. I mean, I'll make a 30-mile run and it'll still say I'm at 90% on fuel. So I've tried to reset it. I just gave up, and it's a common theme. But that's one thing I don't like about the boat, really, is that the fuel gauge sucks. But since I have Vessel View, it's really not an issue. But for someone that doesn't have it and they kind of want to know where they're at, yeah, that's going to be a tricky little deal. Have a built-in stereo system, which is great. Bluetooth, you can put it right on my phone. The seats are great. They're comfortable. I'm pretty tall. I'm almost 6'3". Plenty of leg room. Very comfortable seats, especially in the big waves. Like I said, you can move them up, you can move them back. Totally adjustable. I'm going to fish for a little bit before we get into the Caymas here. Okay? I'm going to have a little bit of fun today. Here comes him. Oh, he was right there. Yeah, he was there too. There he is. They get bigger than that today. That was on the Great Lakes drop minnow. Little Demiki rig action. But not right yet. I think they're big. We're gonna have to put some work in today to find some big ones, I think. We will. It's warming up a little bit. I'm gonna mic up so we can talk about this boat as promised and do a little fishing while we're at it. Alright, tell you what, so I bought this striker bib and jacket for really colder temps, and I used it like last week when it was really cold, and it was amazing. But yeah, it's heating up quick. This is definitely the deal. You're gonna see me wear this a lot later on this fall for sure. Okay, while I'm searching for a fish or two here, let's talk about the trolling motor. Lowrance Ghost. I've been running a Ghost now for a couple seasons, and I like it. It's the best out of all three brands that I've used. Quieter, obviously, than an Ultrex. You don't have cables to worry about, things like that. The Garmin Ghost, or the Garmin Force, my experience with the Garmin Force has not been a good one in the past, so I just haven't really circled back to that option. I just had way too many issues. And so the Ghost, of course, is quiet, fast, spot lock works great. The arrow, sometimes the arrow will stick on you and it won't track well when you're using your live scope. Mine didn't track right out of the box, and I made a video about how to fix that. So if that's something that you're dealing with, in the link below there's going to be a video to that video I made on how to correct that. It does, after about 3 months, it has started to shut off during the day. It'll give me 3 flashes and then it'll just stop. I'll have to physically press the button and restart it. That'll happen about 2 to 3 times a day on me, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it needs an update, firmware, whatever. I'm too nervous to do that. The unit's working right now, so I'm going to keep rolling with it. But if you guys know a solution to that, please let me know. I know it's a common issue. And then the thing's going to get really, really loud. Not the motor, but after about 3 months of using it every day, especially live scope, and I'm going on high and looking this way, that way, I'm constantly using it, right? So I put a lot of time on this motor, and it'll start making some sounds. And so how you fix that, I tried that blaster, I think it's called. It's a silicone spray. I tried that. It didn't work quite as well as the old-fashioned WD-40. And so whenever it starts to get loud on me, I just squirt a little of that all over any little bracket, mount, spring, any area I can fit that little red straw in, and I just start spraying, and that does help take away some of that noise. If you let it go, it can really get annoying. It's actually fairly quiet today, so that's a good thing. And I do go with the medium size. I think that's 52-inch shaft. If you're in big water, you have to have a 52. You're not. It's going to be real tough out here when we get some big waves. Today's a nice, calm day, but it's typically not like that. And so if you're going to fish bigger water, I want you to go with the medium-sized shaft versus the short one. Short one's great if all you do is fish backwater, shallow water, stuff like that. I can always raise it up, but it's very hard to keep that motor if it's a short shaft in the water sometimes. And of course I put a troll tamer on it right here. This troll tamer will hold it in place. Really important when you're in big waves. Want to make sure you get that right. Ooh, there's a couple fish right here. Come on, come on, come on. Man, these fish today are tight to the bottom. So speaking of that, my system up front here, and I've made a video about that as well before, but I'm running the Humminbird Helix 12-inch with the 360. It's solely designed for just 360. Really, 360 is really important to be able to find the structure. It just complements the live scope. You can find the structure, and then you can use the live scope to point and see if there's any fish on that structure. Now I know you can see rocks and boulders and everything else with your live scope, but just having a 360 view is really beneficial, especially for the way I fish. And so I'm always going to have some sort of 360 on my boats. And then I went with, I've been running Garmin for quite a while, their live scope, forward facing sonar. Got the new, was it LV34 transducer, which is good. I mean, the old one worked just as fine too, but I like it. I got no complaints on the Garmin unit at all. I wanted to use the Lowrance this year just to see how active target was and how it would compare. So I basically run the Garmin forward, the active target, Lowrance active target is straight down, and then I also have a pole which we'll bring out a little later, and I have an active target on that shooting forward. So if I'm in anchor lock, I can easily use my forward facing sonar, even though the trolling motor's being tied up with anchor lock mode. I'm going to tell you right now, my next boat, I will be going back to all Garmin's. You'll be able to catch fish. You'll be able to see fish with the Lowrance active target. It's just, once you use both, it's hard to go. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm sticking with Garmin. I'll leave it at that. I feel like it's a superior product. If you didn't know any better, you certainly can catch fish with active target, right? However, for me, Garmin forward-facing sonar is the way to go. I run those, what is it, Eco Maps, the 12-inch. Believe me, I've caught plenty of fish straight down. I can see them on this, and I've used the pole in forward mode with active target. But my next boat, I'll be going back to 2 Garmin's and then a Humminbird 360 at the bow. So I'm going to go back to just 2 Garmin's at the bow for next year's boat. One is going to be forward facing on the trolling motor, and one's going to be on that pole again, or I may buy or look into one of those foot pedal ones. I really don't like the foot pedal ones because I really have better control with my hand, especially when I'm in anchor mode and in the big waves. I can just make real small adjustments and be able to see where those fish are located. I've heard that some of the remote, automatic ones that mount there and you can use your foot to move it around, I heard those are getting a lot better. So I am going to entertain that thought. I just haven't made up my mind yet what direction I want to go. Just saw a couple good boulders out here, and I figured, they've been tight to the bottom today, almost impossible to really see. Let me just throw it out on that boulder and just see if anybody decides to take a look. And I'm wasting a gorgeous day where I could be hammering on some bigs right now, but I'm not. Don't do it, Travis. Stay the course. Okay, what else? Oh, here's something I would definitely change. Power poles. I love my power poles, guys. I love them. Great company. I've been with them for as long as I've owned bass boats. I'll never even contemplate using another type of anchoring system. Customer service, the people, the product, it's got my endorsement 100%. However, this is my first year with 8-foot poles. I've always ran 10-footers. And that was a big shock to me, man. It's a big shock to me. I fish a lot of water, apparently. Even back when I fished on the Chesapeake, tidal water, can't tell you how many little areas I fish, especially in the springtime, that's 8-9 foot deep. And I'd love to be able to just sit there and hold the boat, especially in those windy conditions. And those 8-footers are now allowing me to do that. And so they probably, the majority of power poles sold are 8-footers. And they do the job, believe me. But I fish just in that little fine gray area where I really miss my 10-footers a lot. And even at our boat ramp, a lot of boat ramps and places where you just kind of hold for a tournament, they're a little bit deeper. They're in that same 8-9 foot range. And I just really miss having the ability to have that 10-foot pole. The reason why I went back to 8 foot is I thought it would be more streamlined. It looks a little more compact. 10-footers, an extra 2 feet, that's kind of a big deal. But really, after a while, you don't even notice it. And so my next boat will have 10-footers again. Just saying, just being real with you. Tell you what, maybe I can get this video done, and then I will. No, I don't. There's plenty to learn right here, dude. My mind's racing today. Why can't it race over a big pot of some fish here? I know what I have to do and I'm fighting it. I shouldn't be sitting here on the trolling motor looking. I need to be graphing. That's what I need to be doing. But who wants a graph on a beautiful calm day? Not this guy. Should be able to find a straggler here somewhere. As far as storage in this boat, amazing. Cooler's a little smaller than I'm used to, but it's still plenty big. They also have the side compartment right here, which can be used as a cooler. So I run anywhere from 8 to 10 bags of ice a day during the tournament. And so I find that is really beneficial for me to be able to put ice in both of these and have it last. I also throw some in the live wells right away in the morning. Oh, there's one right here. So as far as rod storage, this compartment here, port side, I take the tubes out. I put all my rods in sleeves. I can jam them in there pretty good. I run a lot of rods. And so I'm able to put a bunch of them in there. Not as many as I have or would like to, but I'm pretty maxed. I can probably fit 30 rods in there. This main compartment is pretty cool because it does have a lot of room for your tackle, your storage boxes, however you want to have them set up. And again, I did another video on my tackle storage system for this boat, which I will link below as well. No sense repeating myself. You definitely want to check that video out. But I can also fit some rods on top of my tackle, and there's rod tubes built right in this main compartment. And so those are basically the rods I'm going to use that day, the rods I use the most. If I'm in a tournament making a big run in big waves, I don't want them on my deck, I'll put all of them in here so they're ready to go. So it actually works out perfect to have that. And then the 2 compartments in the back, plenty of room for extra gear, your co-angler, your fishing partner's gear. They're very big and deep boxes. You can load up so much stuff in there. It's awesome. Today's not the day. I got to take advantage of today. See, I'm thinking. Fuel, gas, 50-gallon gas tank. Probably can get 52 in if you try. When you're filling it full and you need a full tank, it's going to start kicking out at about 48 gallons sometimes, some pumps. Just slowly pull the trigger on the gas and keep her going. You'll be able to top it off pretty good. And I make some long runs. I've hadn't had any issues, man. That Pro XS is perfect. Just being able to make long runs and on the fuel, it's not an issue. Now the $5 gallon gas is definitely an issue, but we are not in control of that, so no sense of complaining, I guess. I'm glad I got a full tank of gas because we're gonna go burn. We are gonna go burn some fuel now. I think I shouldn't have to. I should be able to catch a 25-pound bag right up in here, even going shallower. But I want to go another area where I don't really fish a whole lot and just see. Alright, we didn't make it quite as far as I wanted to get yet, but I thought I'd make a few casts. We got one on the 1/4 ounce Beast Coast Sniper jig, which is an awesome little finesse deal. I'm actually put a TRD on the back of it. See if we can find a bigger one though. Well, I made a little bit of run and had a little issue. I actually crashed my drone. I was trying to get a little footage from the air, and the battery died or something happened, and it decided it was just going to land where it wanted to. I lost all control of the drone, and I crashed it into the lake. So we'll play a little clip for you of that. It's not working right now, so I don't know. I don't know what to think. It's never a good thing. See if we can get these to bite, and if they're of any size, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. Well, anyways, back to the Caymas. Another awesome piece of equipment that I have on here is the Power Pole Charge. This is my 3rd year running the Power Pole Charge. And as far as just being able to charge your batteries, it doesn't matter if you have lithiums or regular AGMs or a combination. It's going to charge your batteries. And listen, I've said this before in my past boat reviews, but I literally hook it up at night. I don't even look at the lights. It's always charged. It's always ready to go. And it's just worry-free. And to me, that's extremely important. Like, I love it. I've never had any issues with it. And it's always been really reliable, and so I certainly would recommend the Power Pole Charge on your boat. You can get rid of your 4-bank charger or whatever you have. You don't need anymore. All you need is the Power Pole Charge, You can plug it in. It's going to charge while you're running. It's going to charge your trolling motor batteries, your starting batteries, all your batteries. It's an amazing piece of equipment. Oh man, he made a mad dash to it. He should get him. There he is. What's up, buddy? Where's the big ones today? So I purchased this Caymas through Thayer's. They're out of Connecticut. And this is my first year working with Thayer's. And Richie over there, he's the guy to talk to. Amazing. Customer service, top notch. I actually had a graph that went out. And he sent me a replacement graph while mine went back. My Hummingbird went back to the Hummingbird to get fixed. Bunch of bars started going across the screen. I have at least one Hummingbird a year go down on me. That was pretty incredible. He like literally next day aired, and I got it. Was able to fish with it. And once mine got replaced, I just sent it back. But they've taken really good care of me. They do a great job. If you guys are interested in looking at a Caymas, or any other boat for that matter, I would certainly give Thayer's a call. Ask for Richie. I couldn't be happier. I'd be happy if this is a 5-pounder right here. So I do want to show you this mount here that I have by Geiger Tech. What it does is it allows me to use forward-facing sonar if I'm on spot lock. I have one screen. My Lowrance is hooked up to the active target, and so if I'm on spot lock, I can use this right here, and I can just make little adjustments, and I can look for fish on this pole. And that pole's made by Geiger Tech. So I've tried a bunch, and a lot of them just are not sturdy. They won't, you can't really use them. They'll fold out. Like I used the ram mount ones, and I tried a variety of them. This is really the best one that I've found. And it's definitely sturdy. It's easy to move. And you can even lower it even more if your transducer's coming out of the water in bigger waves. So it's definitely the way to go if you're going to mount one on a pole that you're going to manually use. Not big. I saw a couple bigger ones in here earlier. Got him. Oh, he's off too. What is going on here? Well, we caught a few small fish today. I didn't find a whole lot of interesting, anything new really. But it was still good. The wind kicked up later this afternoon. Oh, that reminds me. The mounts for my electronics. Bass Boat Technologies. Solid mounts. I have obviously the single here, the triple up there. I've used Bass Boat Technology mounts now for my last 5 boats, and they hold up, man. I put a lot of pounding on these units, and they don't move. Heck, I don't even remember even having to tighten them up ever. They're like that from day one. So, all right, I might head back in the studio to wrap this up, and I'm gonna put her back on the trailer. We'll start again tomorrow. So my first full season in the Caymas, super happy with it. I get a lot of messages almost on a weekly basis. Somebody will send me a message and be like, hey, I know you're sponsored or work with Caymas, but I know you'll shoot it straight. What do you really like it? And I reply, yes, it's the best riding boat for those types of conditions I've ever been in. It's an amazing boat. It's a great platform. I love it. I love it so much. I'm getting a new one for next year. And I'd recommend, if you're looking at a Caymas, to head on over to Thayer's Marine and ask for Richie. He's going to hook you guys up, answer any questions that you have. Not only do they sell Caymas, but they sell a bunch of different brands of boats. So if you are in the market for any type of boat, I really would recommend heading over to Thayer's Marine and giving them a look. And they got an extensive showroom. They got all the boats are on their website. It's a great experience if you're looking for a new boat or a used boat. And certainly give Thayer's Marine a call and see what they have for availability. Well, there you go. For next year's boat, I'm going to change the color just a little bit and change a little of the electronics, but not too much. We're going to go with the 10-foot poles. Of course, we're going to go with the power pole charge again. Bass boat technology mounts. There's really not a lot of changes that I'm going to make for next year's boat. But the reason why I flip my boats every year is if I was to keep it over 2 seasons, the hours on the Mercury would just be pretty high. And for some reason, a lot of buyers get nervous with the higher hours, even though it's still all under warranty. So if something was to ever happen, you're still covered. So I don't understand that philosophy. If I was going to buy a boat and a motor, I would definitely just want to make sure there's still plenty of years of warranty left, which there is on my boat. So if you're watching this video in the next pretty recent, when it was uploaded here, fall of 2022, is it? I don't know what year it is. Yes, fall of 2022. It is for sale. You can head on over to Bass Boat Central and look under used bass boats under Caymas, and you'll see it there. Or you can try to reach out to me if you're a serious buyer, and we can talk. So perfect. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, until next time, we'll see you guys on the water.